Oh, I'm going to be on video. I got to be more careful. Hey. Yeah. Are we rolling?
We're
Awesome.
rolling.
Guys, this is Dale Calvert. Appreciate you being with us. Some of you will be watching online, but most of you will be listening through the podcast. I've got a real unique, special session this week. We're going to talk about the 3 benefits that are available to you in network marketing that are not available in any other business model. And number 1 is the personal development that is required in order for you to fulfill your true upside potential. I mean, you can get involved and bring your same negative self and negative attitude, and you'll be fine for, you might do okay and putz around for a while. But if you're going to make it in this profession, if you're really going to make it, then you're not going to make it with the mindset that you enter the industry with. So the number 1, without question, benefit is the person you must become, the personal development. Number 2 is the friendships that you develop. And number 3 is the lifestyle that the residual income can provide. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money, they have no time. Some people have a lot of time and no money. And the beautiful part about the network marketing business model is if you find the right program at the right time, 3 to 5 years, you can have time and money for the rest of your life and make whatever decisions you want. So I'm excited to have you guys with us again. This will also be on YouTube somewhere. But for those of you listening, I've got Gorday and Kelly Alderson are our special guests from Tucson. Hey, guys.
Hey.
They were on number 143 of this podcast. Some of you will probably remember that because we had an experience that happened a few months ago. We've been spring cleaning and going through a lot of stuff. And Dawn, my wife, walked in and she handed me this letter, and it just, I had tears in my eyes.
We were quarantine cleaning.
We were quarantine cleaning, that's right. So to really set up this podcast before we get and really talk with Gorday and Kelly, I just want Dawn to just read the letter that she found, because I think there's probably nothing that I can do that really communicates what I just shared with you. Without question, person you become, friendships you develop, the residual income, and the freedom it can provide you. So Dawn, you want to share the letter, or whatever you want to do? It's all yours.
Well, first I just want to share how I found the letter. I mean, like we said, we didn't go anywhere for 2 months. We were quarantine cleaning and had the opportunity to get some things really organized. And one thing Dale has done throughout his entire network marketing career is every card, letter, note that he's received from distributors literally over 40 years, he's kept. He's got a lot of stuff, and it's all organized. A lot of it is in albums, like photo albums, where he just keeps everything. So I guess it was, I don't know, sometime in April, I was cleaning and organizing some of this, and I started going through just this one binder. And I was flipping through it just to make sure that there was nothing loose in there that didn't need to be put away. And this letter that I found was probably written 23 years ago, 1997 timeframe. And I didn't know Gorday and Kelly then, but I was blessed with them coming into my life. They came back into our life about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So when I was flipping through this book, it just popped out at me. I mean, it was a binder probably this thick, and I was just flipping through, and it was just right there. It was like it was meant for me to find it. So that was really special to me. And I can tell you, by the time I finished it, I was in tears. And I'm going to try not to cry tonight when I read it. So you guys are really special. And for me, it really is. Number 2, it's really about the friendships that you develop along the way. And we feel like we for sure have made lifelong friends with you all, and we're very thankful for you.
Yeah, we certainly
Same
agree.
here.
So I will read the letter. And like I said, I think it's probably sometime, maybe summer 1997. Dear Dale, this past conference was the second for my wife and I. It was fantastic. I got to meet you and your wife, Ron and Audie, and spend some quality time with Kenny Jeanette. Also with my sponsor and regional, James Stamps. What a great guy he is. The fellowship was awesome. I really developed a true belief in the company. That is what I mainly took away with me. It was my weakest, but now is very strong. Listening to Ron's talk and hearing you on the leadership tapes talk of your church family and which kid you would give away were music to my ears. I truly believe we have the gold and have no reservations investing my precious time into the company NII. I am now weakest in believing that I can find someone who wants this as bad as I do. But even that is changing. I got some downline to the conference, and they are fired up and committed. Time will tell, as with all of us, even me. Matt Russell sat there for 3 days with advanced lung cancer, and as I write, he is changing from the hospital bed after a successful surgery. My consistent effort, only 10 months so far, is starting to pay off. My checks are small, but my personal growth is up there in the billions. I am already a truly rich man in many of the areas that really count because of the teachings you have accumulated and passed down to all of us. Most of my downline are not doing a thing, but I have 20 reasons from a few of them. I wonder whose fault that is. I guess we are all lousy when we start. It is amazing how many times one has to hear something before it finally hits one's heart. I am stuffing the funnel, retailing, and following up word for word. I really feel something big on the horizon and wish I had the time to go full time. I am not frustrated, but I sure am anxious. Still, I wouldn't want it any other way. Nothing worth having comes easy. At the conference, you basically said, don't tell, but show me how much you appreciate everything. Show me by becoming a national director. But we all have to express ourselves because we are overflowing with gratitude and admiration. Right now, I am an area director with only 2 legs. One is 19 deep with 7 areas, and the other 15 deep with 4 areas. And I'm still not leaving them yet.
Teachable.
I'll go to China if I have to find a leader for each leg. I know I must go down the same road as everyone else, but start getting ready to get emotionally attached to me because I ain't quitting. It was also great to see a picture of my daughter, Whitney, up on the slides at the conference. She had just turned 5, and I called her and told her that she was up on the big screen and was the hit of the entire conference. She said, "Dad, I bet we're going to make a fortune." Well, she is right. The positive environment in which I now raise my children is something dollars cannot buy.
That's right.
Well, like I said, I ain't quitting, but if the whole thing disappeared right now, I have already learned more in 10 months than most people have a chance to learn in a lifetime. It almost scares me to think where I'm going. Well, this is about the longest letter I've ever written, so I'll stop taking up your precious time. It kind of feels weird to love a man you have met only briefly, but like the rest of the NII family, who are totally plugged in, I feel I've known you forever, as you are so humble and gracious. Drive careful and buckle up. Be safe for always, as you are a tremendous asset to mankind. Thanks for all you do, and we will see you in Orlando. From the bottom, top, middle, and all 4 sides of my heart, Sincerely, Gorday Alderson.
Hey,
P.S.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Really?
P.S.
P.S. I'm working real hard to stay in the 5 a month club. P.S.S. I'm so glad I didn't give up on this industry. NII is about my 10th, but final try in network marketing. What a relief.
All right. I've said for
I'm
years,
lying a little bit there at the end.
I've said for years, if you give us 1 year of your life, it'll make, and get plugged in, it's going to change everything. Y'all want to comment on that? What would you tell people?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And God, that's a trip down memory lane right there. One of the first thing that comes to mind is just from a, it sounded pretty good right there. It really did. And I thought, that was a wise guy that put that together. And I didn't think I had that much knowledge at that point in my life, but at 10 months before I wrote that letter, I promised I didn't. But one thing that comes to mind is I've had the opportunity to speak at quite a few funerals, and God blessed me with the voice to sing. And because of all the stuff, the wisdom of the ages and the foundation and all the phrases, but that are the heartfelt phrases that really get to people, it's allowed me, forget the business side of any of it, it's allowed me to speak at funerals where there's 2,000-3,000 people. One of my dear friends died, and his wife, she said, "Hey, we're going to have the funeral when you can get here." And to be able to be the person through our faith and what God has created in us, to be able to be a person that can stand up there and make everybody feel better on a day like that, especially the widow and the mother and the father of, it's been a number of funerals, and it's just, I never thought about it till right now, and in this way, and what I've been able to do for people and help them through the Lord, is His power and strength. That has been a real blessing that I really hadn't thought a lot about as far as going back to this letter and all that stuff. But it's wonderful when you can take that kind of stuff and you can share it with others, because sometimes somebody's listening and it might make a huge difference in their life.
That's right. That's right. Kelly, it's the first
Yeah.
time you ever heard that?
Oh yeah. I'm so many things are going through my head right now. That's the first time I've heard that letter.
Sarah would have been 3.
Yeah.
Hunter would have been 1.
Yeah. Just brings back a lot of memories, great memories. I'm looking actually out my window in where the single wide sat that we lived in when he wrote you that letter. And oh boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. He really internalized, thank goodness for those cassette tapes, because myself and the kids, we got to listen to those. Now, it wasn't our music of choice, but we didn't, he was happy doing his thing, and we just listened to him and went out right along with it. And I'm just thankful for that. I'm thankful for the person that he became. I'm thankful for the person I've become. I'm thankful for the kids. They've internalized that stuff. I mean, they don't forget it. When you truly listen to your teachings over and over and over again, it really does become internalized, whether or not that's your intention. And it changed our life. I mean, it really did. It's changed. I see it. And when he says every day, I see it every day with Gorday. I really do. I see it every day when he deals with his customers and when his friends come around, when people call. It's him. And I thank you. I really do.
Well, I mean, I was just the luckiest guy in the world, because at 20, I'm listening to Jim Rohn and Earl Nightingale and Zig Ziglar and everybody else for 8 hours a day on a headset. And I was able to do something that most people don't have the chance to do. And it gave me a different perspective and slant on what it takes to build real teams, duplicating teams in this profession. And I know I tell Dawn every day, look, you're right. I'm the weird one. I'm the weird one, and I'm okay with that, because for you now, like from there, I know like today you're one of the like top bits and spurs icon guru in the whole rodeo cowboy world. If you've got Gorday Alderson spurs, it's like wearing a Rolex watch or whatever.
Yeah.
I understand all that.
Master craftsman.
Yeah, master craftsman, and I and all that. And because when that business didn't work out the way we had all hoped, and there was drama, and as I've said, the two things that destroy every company is greed and ego. Greed and ego. That's the two things you have to guard against. And we were all young and dumb and didn't know any better, and a lot of people were making a lot more money than they ever thought possible. And it is what it is. But the thing about it, Gordy, is I've had so many people over the years tell me and say, those 2 years, those 3 years, those 5 years with that company was the best 3 or 4 or 5 years of my life. It made such a huge impact on my family and my kids and my grandkids. And that's really what it is. But if individuals don't take the responsibility for the self-improvement, it never happens.
Yeah.
People have been around this industry as long as you and I have and never got that. They never developed the hunger for it. You want to speak to that?
Well, on that note, you mentioned Jim Rohn, and before I went to NII, there's some Jim Rohn notes. I went down to see Jim Rohn, obviously when he was still alive. I watched him speak. I did not know a thing about it. That's the pamphlet that was laying there for the specials. And a buddy of mine said, let's go down and listen to this guy talk. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, this guy's going to talk or something. And I'm like, well, whatever. So we went down there. I borrowed a pencil, didn't have a piece of paper, and got to see Jim Rohn speak. And that got me started thinking, and then heard the Secrets tape. And
Secret to network marketing success.
Yeah, Secret to network marketing success.
Did you hear today's podcast?
Yeah.
This will be the one that last week's podcast, which was the Secret to network marketing success for the 2020s. The one you heard was for the 1990s.
I can tell you what for they are, but everybody will already know by the time they hear the podcast. And like you said, in that respect, there may be something out there like we have right now, but if they don't have, from a product company standpoint, I don't think they do marketing plan. I mean, but even if they did have that, even if it was better, even if you could put 2 pennies under a walnut and they turn into gold medallions, if you don't have a duplicating system to make it work, and you've always told me my strength is my weakness. I think about it, and it's like, I'm glad I'm in ethical business in the bit and spur industry, because the skills I have learned, it's almost, you literally gives you an unfair advantage in business. Because when you learn to be value focused, mm-hmm. and you learn the right phrases, and when I say right phrases, I don't mean it to be cheap. I mean effective communication from the heart.
Value.
From the heart. And like, people will call me to order a bit and they want a $350 bit. And I start asking them questions, where have we heard that before? And listening to them. And I'll ask them what's going on with their horse. And I'll say, you know what, how about we do this? How about I send you this plain bit that's only going to cost you $100 if it works. I'll send it to you. If it works out for you, we'll go that route, because I think that's what you need. And I just talked them out of buying a $350 bit that they didn't need. I'm going to send them one to try for free, and I'm paying the postage. And it's because I want to solve their problem with their horse and them. And you don't even have to be the first time a suspect. You got a customer, you know, when you do that right there.
That's right.
And when we can take that same concept when I'm talking to someone as far as presenting the product or the business to them and really feel like, I heard somebody say the other day, you know, if you've hit up everybody in your phone, here's where you go next. And I wanted to I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never hit anybody up. I'm not hitting you up. I'm sharing with you an opportunity and a product that can literally change your life.
That's
And if I
right.
didn't care about you, because believe me, you've got a list way longer than me, but we both have a list of people that we could call that we're not calling because I don't want the headache. I could send some people, I know a couple networkers that I could send that podcast I listened to today, and they would probably get a speeding ticket coming over here to maybe join us. I'm not sending it. I mean, I know every dud knows a stud, but I'm after 27 percenters that want to grow into leaders, and they're going to bring enough duds without me going out and trying to find one.
That's right.
And we're selective with who we share it with. You know, we really are. And we've got hundreds of people to contact, but we're not trying to sign up anybody that can fog a mirror. We're just not.
Fog of mirror. I get that. We get that, but they're like, what the heck's he talking about?
Yeah,
Fog of mirror.
We're still alive and breathing.
Yeah, they put a mirror right here, and if there's two spots, and they try to sponsor them, and if there's one spot, it'll do. Yeah.
Yeah. Just sign here.
I told somebody yesterday, the only reason to enroll anybody is to disqualify them as soon, or let them disqualify themselves as soon as possible. You know, and talked to somebody earlier today. So Dale, I can't get their 20 reasons, top 50 names to practice with what I do. Find somebody else. They aren't going to do it. And see, that's the thing, you know, once you get this systemized and you know that you can make an impact on people's lives and that you can help people get from where they are to where they want to go in a sequential, systematic order, you don't have to date everybody and just woo them and, you know.
Play ball.
Yeah, let's play ball. If you're not ready, fine, next, let's go. That's how you recruit, but you got to have the right opportunity to be able to do that. Go ahead. No.
Well, I talked to a kid today, and he watched the video, and he said it wasn't
video.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he watched the 3-minute video, and then I don't know how much of the webinar he watched. I think he watched the 3, play 1 and play 2. And he said he didn't think it was for him, and I asked him why, and he told me, I said, you know what? That's not a good enough reason because, and I answered both his objections, but I said, if the timing's not right for you and you can't see yourself in this realm, because both the objections you gave me, they're not valid. But if you can't see yourself in this realm right now and the timing's wrong for you, even if it's a vague answer, but it's a no, that is a good enough reason. If it doesn't jump off the page at you, because I basically told him, I can pretty much answer any objection you have, except for the fact that I don't really know, but I just don't want to do it. That one there is good enough.
That's right.
Don't tell me you don't have time. Don't tell me you're moving. But if you just don't want to do it and the timing's, and he thanked me, he said, thank you for considering me. The timing's not right now, but I sure appreciate it. I'm like, thank you for being candid. And one other thing I was thinking about, as far as when you were talking about getting the 20 reasons and stuff, you know, it's taken us a while, but I watched Kelly the other day when we sponsored a gal up in Phoenix, and I walked away and had a piece of chocolate cake she'd made or something like that. But to watch her go into action with this lady, who the only reason she was there is I had a conversation with her and knew why she wanted to come. And I reminded her of that when she didn't know if she could get there on time. So she showed up because I knew one of her reasons. But to watch Kelly go to work with her as far as the first 20, 30 minutes after she decided she was going to join, as far as, okay, here's what we're going to do. And, you know, 20 reasons, 50 names. I mean, went through the whole deal and spent a quality half an hour with her. And this gal, she's on track. A little accident came up, like physical accident with someone in her family. But we had a marvelous conversation with her last night. She never strayed. She's excited, but she's excited because she loves the product and she does not have a confused mind. She's got two ways to present this to people, the product or the opportunity. And, you know, she said, well, I think, you know, and then we also talked about retail to recruit. So she's got one gal that she's got on the product, but she says, I really think she's probably going to want to do the business. So she already knows, you know, retail to recruit, that can happen in a day.
That's right.
That can happen before they leave your, by the way, are you guys making any money in this deal? Well, I'm glad you asked. I mean, retail to recruit doesn't have to be a month-long, 2 months, 3 months process. It can happen in seconds. So anyway.
That's right. I got two questions. One for Kelly, one for Dawn. Kelly,
Yes.
you experienced the whole NII with Gorday and saw all that. And then I know after all that kind of blew over, the Bits First took off. And I know y'all have done a couple of different things here and there along the way, nothing real serious or real focused, but been involved in different programs. And then we kind of met up again about a year and a half ago. And then we sent you the training club, the
I just got
training club.
chills. Yeah. I just
And-
got chills.
And something has happened to you in the last, I don't know, from my perspective, in the last 90 days or so, something has happened. And I know, so you just want, I mean, what's happened? Because you've gone down the same road that Gorday's gone down, but in the last 90 days, something's really happened. You want to comment? Yeah.
I've taken those CDs, which I'm forever grateful for. I've heard it through that trailer that used to sit over there over and over again. It was seated in my brain, but I guess I'd never taken action or really never let it really sink in, internalize it. And just, I listened to every single CD over and over again with deep intentions, I guess is the only way I can explain it. I really wanted to be a different person. I wanted to be a stronger person. I wanted to be a smarter person. I wanted to be everything that you've taught. And it was all there. I just hadn't taken that time to really internalize it like I needed to. And I did. I took that and I internalized it.
Past failures would probably be a high motivator.
Yes, totally. Yes, totally. And I realized too that I was frustrated in the industry because in the different companies that I've been into that I worked, and there was never a system. And I felt like I was floundering around and I really wanted to help people, but there was nobody that I was coming across or in my path or my upline, and I'm not blaming any of my upline. I'm not saying that at all because they were there when I called them. There was just not a system there.
That's right.
And I was kind of like that fish on the bank flopping around trying to get to water to breathe or something. I don't know. I had some changes. I had some health issues. My reasons became very, very strong. When I think about my reasons, I feel my reasons. I feel like I can connect with people, and I can bring those feelings out from them, and make, I just feel like I feel like I've got that because of you and what I've learned listening to that over and over. It was kind of just icing on my cake that I needed.
I think there's probably a difference when you're listening, or you're listening with the intention of implementing. And there's
Yep.
even another level when you're listening with the intention of implementing and teaching.
Yeah.
When
Yes.
you listen to something because you know I have to teach this someday,
Right.
it's a totally different perspective.
Yes, totally. And that's what, I want for people, for what I see now. That's what I want. I want, like the gal that Gordy was talking about, I really, really want for her to be able to teach her people. If I get killed in a car wreck tomorrow, we've talked about what we need to talk about. She knows what to do. She knows where to go get plugged into. I want that for her. Just the same, it's kind of like your kids. You want your kids to cleave and leave and be successful,
That's right.
and that's what I want. That's really what I feel and want.
Yeah, but the industry likes everybody just hanging out, cleaving. It's like, how many followers can I have? And that's the whole industry. And that is not how this game is won. Real leaders develop other leaders. And the only way that can happen is through systems.
Yes.
But I tell you what's got her so excited about, I mean, we're truly way more value focused than we've ever been, but it really boils down to the belief in the current opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've gotten literally, until I went to Phoenix the other day and got to meet Sergi, I was getting that belief more from you, because I haven't seen you look and act like this since 97, and that's been a minute,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, I mean, it's like, just like you said, I'm looking for the red flag. There's got to be one. You can't find one. It's like, holy moly, and what I would say in Kelly's case is, when the student's ready, the teacher arrives.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have this opportunity to share with people, man, unless your product and company belief is unless it's way up there, it's hard to start teaching somebody a duplicatable system, because it's like, man, I can teach them all this stuff and I can teach them the personal development, but if they don't really have an opportunity to attach them to, you're not near as enthusiastic about it. It's like practice, but you never get to go to the game. Hey, we're going to the game now.
That's what I
It's
said.
like all of our stars have lined up.
That's
I mean,
it.
they really
That's
have.
it. And when I talked about it, the last podcast they heard, and if you can't bring somebody in and know that within 90 days they're going to be in profit, making money, you're in the wrong program.
Yep.
And see, that's the issue. That's the most important thing from this point forward. With COVID and everything else that's happened, people need to make money. They need to supplement their household budget. They need that. That's what everybody's looking for. And all network marketing's been for 20 years is a big social club where people come and hang out and high five each other and try to convince each other that they have a real business, but they don't. It's just a big social club with everybody carrying around a business card. Moving forward, you better have an opportunity where people can start creating income. And you guys know, I mean, and I've said it on multiple podcasts in the last few weeks. I mean, right now we're involved with the #1 compensation plan I have seen in 40 years.
In your whole life, basically.
My whole life, nothing
Yeah.
close to it. Last night, I think you guys were on a call where I showed the top 14 or 15 income earners in the entire world in network marketing. And I said, I know that company comp plan. I know that company comp plan. There's not a comp plan on this list that pays better than what we have our hands on.
And I've never heard you talk about a comp plan before until you. It's like, I hear all these people talking about this comp plan. 0% is still zero.
That's right. Now,
And that is here. The same holds true here. However,
that's right. Now, Dawn, from your perspective, because I know I've been hard to handle the last couple of months, and I apologize. I'm so sorry. But from your perspective, what happened? And here's the thing that I want this to be real public. Like, bottom line, I was not, we had a position in a company that we had decided we got to find a clear path to customer acquisition, or this personally, or this is never going to work. And I've been testing stuff and trying to figure that out for several months. And then that company made a upper management change, and you end up with people that you just simply do not trust. So our upline had to find something else, and they found this, and they talked to you guys actually before they talked to me, and then they talked to me, and I told Dawn, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. You know, I'd already a couple of weeks before that had contacted a website broker, one of the largest in the United States, about liquidating all my intellectual property, all my training programs, all the websites, everything, because we're going in this whole different direction. I bought 4 different
Shopify stores
this year. And so that's where we were going for sure. Anyway, before all this happened. And then you guys called and we talked. Then the upline called and we talked. And it's like, I don't believe anymore. I've lost all belief because, you know, I've seen a lot of companies that had the potential for the stars to line up, but they hadn't lined up yet. And then once I took my negative glasses on and looked at it just from a pure perspective, and then I woke up one night and said, Dale, you're an idiot. This is not what could be, might be. It's already happened. It's already it's been around 8 years. It's in 30 different countries.
Yeah.
There's already 6-figure monthly.
And how many times have you told people through the years, what you're saying it won't work? It's already happening. Are you?
I know, but it just blows my mind that I totally missed it. But I think I didn't miss it. I missed it because the decision had already been made to move in a different direction. And I was happy about that direction, fired up about it, excited about it, knew I could do extremely well. We were good. So from your perspective, what happened, Dawn?
Well, I came in and you were talking to a couple of people. I think you were talking to Curry.
Uh-huh.
And I just had no idea what was even going on. I really didn't. But I was like, what? We're doing what? But basically, I don't know what from what point, what happened.
Well, I mean, you know, am I different towards this than other things that I've been?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I've never seen him so fired up. Never seen him so fired up. You know, he's sleeping again. He's getting up early. He's hitting the ground running. He's just, just contacting people from his phone, just not letting up. I mean, he's definitely at a different level of excitement that I've never seen him. But, you know, it's not for us. The excitement comes from how this can bless others, and he just doesn't want people to miss it. You know, he's not pounding the phone every day and asking people, well, are you in the hospital? What's wrong with you? But he truly cares. I mean, he has such a heart for helping others, and he just doesn't want people to miss this. And, you know, that's what's been so different. And it was just so unexpected.
Still pinching myself.
Yeah, we both are.
What's neat for us is we don't need this opportunity either. I mean, we do very well doing what we do. And I mean, I walk to work. I enjoy what I do. I've been doing it for 30 years. Kelly does the books and mails packed. I mean, we do. If we wanted to go get on an airplane and fly to Hawaii tomorrow, if it wasn't under quarantine, and stay there for a month, we'd just go do it. I mean, we're in that spot right now. But gosh dang, it's going to be fun to do. Most people aren't. I guess the average person has $400 saved right now in America. And it's like, gosh dang. I heard you talking on the podcast today. We've got people on this team that gave plasma, sold their plasma to join.
That's right.
Probably got his 20 reasons pretty easy.
And we have millionaires and people that own companies and everybody in between. It's fascinating. Uh, yellow brochure story.
Oh, okay.
And just to set this up, see, here's what's been missing. One of the things that's really been missing in the profession the last 15, 20 years, and that's when you bring somebody in that's never been involved in the network marketing business model. They've never been involved in sales or direct sales, but they see the residual potential. They see the lifestyle. And we bring them in, and then basically we say, go sick them. And there hasn't been any clear path to customer acquisition, which you guys know with how you were trained, with that yellow brochure. I mean, and the 3-day, 14, 29-day follow-up, according to my records, it's time for you to reorder your product. How would you like to receive up to $10 off the next purchase? You all know all that systematic approach to customer acquisition referrals. And that yellow brochure, I mean, you couldn't go on any interstate in the United States, stop at a rest area and walk in there, and they have all the racks of all the state parks and coming attractions, and not see a stack of yellow brochures in those every interstate, every rest area in the United States. People would send me pictures of, I mean, it was crazy, you know. I mean, you know, we knew how to drop a bomb on a community. We knew how to get the message in the marketplace. So the yellow
People
brochure,
say it's cheap. You're dang right, it's cheap. That's why we got so many of them out there.
that's right. And the yellow brochure was the backbone of that. Okay, as you all know. So tell them about the.
So he hits the floor, I don't know, shortly after. It was several weeks ago. And he hits the floor, comes downstairs one morning, and the first thing out of his mouth is, Dawn, I want you to remember this morning for the rest of your life. I'm like, okay, what is it that you want me to remember? And he said, my idea, this is going to be the yellow brochure on steroids.
What do y'all know what she's talking about?
Well, I didn't know if we were supposed to be talking about
No,
it.
but but it's a system for a clear path to customer generation.
Yep.
And y'all seen it, you know, you've seen the website, you understand it. How are you all feeling about what this is going to do for the growth of your team?
Go
Oh,
ahead, baby.
just the feedback that I've gotten from people that have done what the next step it's just brilliant. It's brilliant. I mean, and people, they're like, oh, and I'm getting responses from people that I've talked to in the past about something, and, you know, they didn't want to hear, and they did what they're supposed to, and happily did what they're supposed to, and willingly, and really want. I mean, it's a whole different shift.
There's nothing wrong with an ethical bribe.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's called the $5 letter. I probably mentioned it on this podcast, but I think when I'm dead and gone, and people think Dale Calvert, the first thing that will come to their mind,
$5 letter.
$5 letter.
Well, what it's going to do, Dale, is it's going to let us really truly create a residual income that we can walk away from and not have something crumbling underneath us every day, and you're busting the phone and you're wiping noses and doing all this stuff to try and maintain what you have, because maybe you did quit your job and the whole thing's crumbling and you're just damage control all the time. It's like, hey, how many letters did you send out?
And
That's
it's
right.
so duplicatable. Anybody can do this. You don't have to have, anybody can do it.
That's right.
There's no excuse to not do it. It's so simple, you know.
It takes away every excuse anybody's ever had for not being able to create a customer base.
What a wonderful filter.
That's right.
Yeah.
And some of your best people will be satisfied customers first. And then you'll have people like, oh, you were telling me about the insurance agent that you'd send it to, and was looking at it and smart people look at it from the marketing aspect of it. They, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, and that creates an interest in the business. It's going to be.
She handwrites all of her Christmas cards. And you know what? Greg Galler's been a couple times. What's that?
Is that your insurance agent?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's been times when Kelly's like, Dad, gummit their rates, and we stay because
Oh, yeah.
they're wonderful friends.
She
They're
never
dear
misses
Christian
a birthday, nothing.
friends.
Yeah.
But none of it's fake. I mean, they are literally wonderful friends of ours too.
Mhm.
So,
And she
yeah.
texts me back, brilliant marketing.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that was, and if I had to pick one person that I admire, husband, wife, that have made it out in the JOB world, they've done it. They're very successful.
but she owns her agency and he's an auctioneer, so they are entrepreneurs. They appreciate,
Yeah,
they understand it.
Cool.
Wonderful people.
Yeah. What else? Is there anything else we need to try to communicate to people as it relates to personal development, friendships, lifestyle?
I would just say that it's literally, I mean, I'm not a millionaire, but we do well.
Will you
But-
be in 5 years?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, yeah, we'll have $1 million in assets and residual, et cetera. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to say, when I say what I've learned in NII has literally made us millions of dollars, because I've been working out in that shop for 20 years since, and we've made literally millions of dollars. And the cool thing is, you learn so much about networking and contacts and getting referrals. And I don't market at all. I have a website. Every now and then I'll put something on Facebook if I make a bid or a pair of spurs for some big shot, but then I'll drop it on there, and then I wished I hadn't even done it because I'm so far behind. But what it's taught about literally networking and building relationships with other people, I really feel like if we lost everything we had right now, and I couldn't go to the bank, and I had no money, I have got a list of people I could call, and I could come up with $50, $60, $100,000, whatever it took. I've got a guy that would bring me an RV and let me live in it for free, a dear friend. I could borrow $50,000 or $100,000 from different people I know, that with probably no collateral, I could get that bit and spur shop back. And I'm taking networking out of it, obviously. Just what we've learned, what it's helped us with in traditional business and life, and start over and know good and well that we're going to be fine because of the mindset and the skills that it's taught us. And once again, when you're teaching my daughter understands, our oldest daughter, Whitney, understands competition and the mental game. She loves the mental game. She hadn't been to a rodeo in like 6 years, and went to a break, borrowed a horse, and went to a competition the other day and won the first round of the competition, came back placed, won like $1,300. And all she did was do the old, I don't think she's ever read What to Believe when you talk to yourself, but she understands the concept and she just applies it. And she looked like she'd been out there competing for the past 6 years. And she programmed her mind and went out there and won. And so when you can transfer all that stuff to yourself, between your spouses, and I was going over my 20 reasons today, and one of my top 3 is the fact that Kelly and I did this. We made it as a team, and that's the funnest. That's number 1 for me. The fact that we're doing, and we made the bit business obviously as a team, but I mean, to do this and win in this industry and help so many others come along and change their life, us doing it together as a team. And my wife, there's been a time or two in the past where she's been a little negative at times, and it's gone down so much. She doesn't have time to be negative, and she knows it's not
She's
prospering.
keeping you straight now.
Yeah,
I know the
I'm
truth.
telling you. Hey, she might be negative with me, or when I walk through the door, and then she's on the phone with the distributor, and it's like she just turned into Jim Rohn here,
Yeah,
So, negative. I mean, there's no time for it.
that's right. That's
There's
right.
just so many benefits to this business. It's, the person you become, the relationships you develop, the relationship between you and your spouse, hopefully is positive. I do know that sometimes it doesn't always work that way, but they're listening. I promise you they're listening, because I was that person probably 25 years ago, because I was busy bouncing babies on my knee and making sure they got fed and ate and didn't have time to do, anything I didn't think at that time. But yeah, there's just so many benefits, and I don't know. It's just neat to just look at your family and know that you've instilled into them the values that we've learned way back at our first convention, I mean, just way back, and we've just carried it through our lives, and I'm just grateful, and I feel very blessed that Gorday grabbed a hold of it and held on tight and made that a part of our values and our family.
And we've created hopefully a vision for our children as far as, they see what we've done. I mean, we've got a great work ethic. If we tell you we're going to do something, we do it. We're respected among our friends and peers, and glory to God and the whole thing. Absolutely. Yeah.
I was just going to say, when I found this letter, like I said before, it was just meant for me to find it, because there are just so many binders. I mean, just tubs of binders and this is the one that I found, and I'm so glad that I found it and that we got to share it with you tonight.
I am too. Thank you.
You guys are awesome.
We're probably going long here, but one thing I got to mention too is I remember when I texted you out of the blue before our last company, and I said, I out of the blue, it'd been years since we talked, and I said, hey, DC, just wanted you to know that in the 8 areas of life, whatever, I mean, in the wheel, I mean, they're all complete, and it was like, you were like, I think you texted me back and said, I'm building again. I don't remember, but it was weird, because I mean, I just did that one day out of the blue, just sitting here thinking about how wonderful God is and how wonderful our life is and all that stuff. And I thought, man, those principles that I have learned and implemented, all the wisdom of the ages through all these years. And I don't know, it's funny how the good Lord works, right?
That's right.
I do remember that text. I know Dale does too, but I remember that day very well.
Yeah.
Sure do.
If somebody wants to get a hold of you, get ready to stop recording. If somebody wants to get a hold of you guys, your website is aplgo.com/Arizona. Y'all got the big one, Arizona.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And they can get a hold. They can contact you through that. And again, guys, I'm so glad we did this, just to have it, just for history's sake.
Oh yeah.
So glad she found the letter, and I hope the people that are listening to us, get a real sense. A lot of people talk the talk in this profession. Some walk the walk, and some have lived it. And our relationship through the years and everything, it's really been awesome, and the best is yet to come. I am sure of that. And so I hope people got benefit from this, and appreciate you guys giving us the time tonight.
Yeah, we're honored. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll talk again soon.
Okay, see y'all.